Ron DeSantis rips Donald Trump supporters as quote-unquote listless vessels. What is up, people of the internet? It is me, Real American, back again with a new video. And today, it is time that we talk about the 2024 Republican presidential primary. Because everyone, somehow, DeSantis is back in the news and not in a positive manner. At least, supposedly. Now, if you don't know what's happening, essentially there is a claim going around that DeSantis, rips Donald Trump supporters as listless vessels. Which, I haven't seen the full quote yet. This is essentially a live reaction to what was actually said. Was it actually bad? All of that. Now, before we continue with today's video, I hope you enjoy these type of videos. If you do, smash the like button down below, subscribe, share with your friends, hit that little bell, follow the social media accounts in the description down below, and of course, join the channel today. Guys, just for $1 a month, you can join Real American. This is the best way to support the daily content that we all know and love. So I hope and recommend you join the channel today. Alright, everybody. Like I said, I haven't seen the quote just yet. This is basically a live reaction, so I don't know how to think about this. I'm going in kind of blindfolded. Alright. Florida's governor is going on the offensive against the former president and his devoted supporters. In an interview with the Florida Standard, Ron DeSantis is ripping Trump backers as privileging personality over conservative purity. What? You're kidding. He did not actually do that, right? If all we are is listless vessels that are just supposed to follow, whatever comes, what happens to come down the pike on Truth Social every morning. That's not going to be a durable movement, DeSantis said. What? Ron, are you okay over there? Do you need some help? What were you thinking saying this? Listen, I do agree there's like 1% of Trump supporters that may take it too far. Fine. But what the hell are you doing going after Trump supporters for, being supporters of him? You're calling them listless vessels? Which, of all things you could have said, and according to the dictionary, it says lacking energy or enthusiasm. You're telling me with a straight face the Trump movement isn't, energetic? You could have said 1,000 things. I agree. We need to eventually look at the movement after Trump. But to say that as, oh, well, you just have a bunch of people worshiping him on Truth Social. Who are you gaining with this? Who are you suddenly flipping with, oh, they are unenergetic, vessels that are just, worshiping Orange Man? The governor also rejects claims that he and the others who buck the cult of personality around the former president are rhinos. And so you can be the most conservative person since sliced bread. Unless you're kissing his rear end, they will somehow call you a rhino. That's bullshit! That is complete and total bull. I'm not a big fan of Chip Roy. Do I call him a rhino? I'm not a big fan of, let's take other ones. Thomas Macy, at least recently, he's actually not bad, but recently his vote record has been very questionable, even for libertarian standards. I don't call him a rhino. Who are you even talking about? There's only let's be real. What percent of Trump supporters are on Twitter 24/7 or whatever that call everybody a rhino? 1%? But you're making this sound like it's a large swath of the base. It isn't. Guys, Trump and Chip Roy, they don't like each other. But I haven't seen, Trump call for a 24/7 attack on him. I think he made a couple statements about him. But Thomas Macy, same deal. So what are you talking about that he will, if you don't kiss his rear end, you are somehow a rhino? There's a lot of Republicans that haven't endorsed him that Trump hasn't called for a primary challenge against. That's factually true. So what are you even talking about? Who told you? Who gave you this advice? You're not just attacking Trump at this point. You're going after his supporters. The dumbest thing you can possibly do. And when I go after DeSantis people, I'm not talking about the regular voter. Because most of them, they're fine. It's these idiots on Twitter that think, DeSantis is secretly down. But this dumbass is basically calling half of Trump voters listless vessels. The governor continued to describe what he perceives as hypocrisy. There will be people who are huge Trump supporters like in Congress who have incredibly liberal left-wing records that's really just atrocious, and yet they're viewed by some of these folks as really, really good. Name one. I can think of a couple that are not great, but they're not leftists. Then you have other people, like Congressman Roy, who's endorsed me, Congressman Massey. Again, who has a problem with Roy and Massey? Yeah, there's there's some diehard people on Twitter that call for a primary challenger against everybody. But you're making this sound like it's the entire GOP base. Again, this isn't because it's an attack on Trump. You can attack Trump for some things, I agree. But to attack him for, not even him, his supporters for, being big fans of him? These guys have records of principle fighting the swamp that are second to none. And yet they'll be attacked by some of these people and called rhinos. Yeah, 1%. Why are you making such a big deal about 1% of the base? And immediately, the Trump world, they went after DeSantis for this. To Hillary Clinton, Trump supporters are deplorables. To Ron DeSantis, they are listless vessels. The truth is, Trump supporters are patriots. DeSantis is showing his true colors. The pressure polling is in third place is getting to DeSantis. And now he's lashing out the very same voters who got him elected governor. DeSantis must immediately apologize for a disgraceful insult. I agree. This isn't just, a remark where he says, yeah, okay, I agree. We need to win over the Trump base, and, I 100% support the Trump voters. I understand what they believe in, but there are some issues with Trump. That's not what he says. He just says, these people are listless vessels that, they just worship Orange Man 24/7. What a stupid remark. The guy that's up 40 points over you. And then, of course, Brian Griffin of the freaking... What? Let's see this. The dishonest media refused to report the facts. Trump and some congressional endorsers are listless vessels. Why? Because Trump and DC insiders feel he is entitled to your vote. DeSantis believes your trust should be earned and has the vision, plan, and record to beat Biden and reverse the decline of our country. That's why DeSantis will be showing up on Wednesday night to debate, and Trump will not. What a spin. Where did you get that from? Griffin, whose comments came hours after the story ran, did not say which congressional endorsers were listless vessels and which weren't, nor did he explain why Trump not debating has anything to do with said listless vessels. DeSantis has said he'd have no problem getting Trumpers to back him in the general election. Clearly, though, there are some he feels are beyond reach or reason. It's just been totally detached from any type of substance, and ultimately a movement cannot be about personality of one individual. The movement has to be about what are you going to achieve on behalf of the American people. Oh my freaking God. Here's the thing, though. Why do I not go mad at or go after Trump for attacking DeSantis? He doesn't attack his supporters. He doesn't. And when I attack, the simps, I'm talking about his inner circle and the people on Twitter that are clearly paid off. He's going after the average Trump voter that they don't like DeSantis and they're only going to vote for Trump because they don't trust him. That's not a cult of personality. Give me a freaking break. These voters, they just don't trust you. And you're just going to give up on them? And you're just going to insult them like this? That's a very smart strategy. Again, he could have said this 1,000 different ways. He could have said, look, I understand why Trump supporters support him. He was the best president since, Reagan or whatever. But it's time for us to evolve the movement into something greater. He could have said thousands of different things. But to go after the core supporters of Trump, this is just free advertising for Team Trump. It doesn't matter what he actually meant. It's what he said. How do you think the average Joe's going to read this? They're not going to think he actually meant the congressional, delegation that supports him. They're going to think, wait, he's talking about me. That's what I have an issue with. And let me be clear. I agree. The movement of MAGA, whatever you want to call it, it eventually needs to evolve from Trump. But not like this where, they're just listless vessels that are just a cult of personality. No, they aren't. The MAGA movement, when you look historically, has roots with Buchanan in the 90s. The Tea Party movement 12 years ago. It's not a cult of personality. Trump just essentially gained the movement's support. Look up the history of these voters, and you're going to find a good trend. A lot of them voted Democrat their entire lives, either never voted, or were part of the more populist movements of the 90s in the 2010s, before Trump even got involved. So this idea it's a cult of personality, that is stupid. Anyways, folks, thank you so much for watching. If you did enjoy this video, smash the like button down below, subscribe, share with your friends, hit that little bell, follow the social media accounts in the description down below, and of course, join the channel today. Thank you so much. Godspeed to all of you.